Good morning, guys. Can you even take me seriously in my Scotty Dog pajamas? I love these things. Anyways, it's a Tuesday morning. I haven't vlogged in a while. I made the conscious decision not to vlog over the weekend. We spent the weekend both at the campground, splitting time between there and with my sister, who I hadn't seen in about a year, so I wanted to focus on visiting with her and spending time with my niece and nephew, and did not worry about what I could show, what I couldn't show. We went to my little nephew, who is Austin's age. He had a baseball tournament. We went and watched him play and watched his team win, and it was just a really great weekend, but I decided just to keep it private, which I know you guys understand. I had every intention of vlogging yesterday, which was Monday, and yesterday was just the day from hell. It was a rough day with my kids and I. Like, they were just at each other's throats, they were on my nerves, and it was just not a good day to film. I don't like to show you guys, I mean, I keep it real on this channel. I think I show you guys a lot of stuff that maybe some other people wouldn't. I show you my messy house. I show you guys when I have parenting fails. I show you guys when my kids are acting up. But yesterday was just extreme. And it was just a bad day. Probably the worst day we've had in terms of us getting along and getting things taken care of and doing what we had to do all summer. So it was just not a good day to vlog. I did go and do my grocery shopping yesterday, which was a change. Usually I do it on Tuesdays. But I had to take Robbie to go and get some new sheets because he fell asleep with an ink pen in his bed and stained his sheets with ink. So he had to have some new sheets. And since I was there anyway, I just went ahead and picked up a few groceries. Very small grocery haul, which I still have to edit. I did film that yesterday. And that's going to be today's video if I can ever get my act together. But I don't know, it wasn't a good day to film yesterday. And today's not really a great day to film either because we're not doing anything except cleaning house and just kind of relaxing. I don't even know if I'm going to change out of these Scotty Dog pajamas today, but I wanted to check in since it's been a little while and explain where I went and why there was such an awkward spacing between vlogs. So that explains that, and I'll check in with you guys in a bit when I have something of substance to show y'all. So I'm about midway through my morning chores here. I was just hand washing some dishes and I realized that I haven't showed you guys my new faucet. Don't mind the mess in the living room. I have not started in there yet. But this is my new faucet. We went to Lowe's looking at replacement faucets because our old faucet, you guys may remember, was a really nice one. I really liked it, but the head of it here, the button broke off and it wasn't working the way that we wanted it to work anymore. And so we went just to look. We weren't going to buy anything, and that's how all of the greatest stories start. I came across this faucet and I fell in love with this. This is from Kohler, and we've never used Kohler products before, but I loved this feature. So it has the sprayer and it's got a really nice spray function. So there's your regular, and then there's the spray, so it's really nice spray. I like that a lot. I like that you can remove the head and help rinse things, but my favorite part about it is that it has this articulating arm and it's made of silicone. So if I want to fill up a great big pot, or if I have something really large I need to wash, I can very simply raise this faucet up and it's significantly taller. It gives me much more room in here to put the things that I need to get in there. Like I said, if I have to fill a big pasta pot or something, and it's awesome. So I love that. It was expensive. It was ridiculously expensive, but I'm in love with it. And after we purchased this faucet, we actually got in contact with the company that made this faucet and explained to them the issues we were having with it, and they sent us a replacement head that was broken. So now we have perfectly good faucets, 2 of them. So we're going to take the old one to the campground and put it into the camper, and we've got this gorgeous faucet for here at home. I love this. My sink is probably my favorite thing in my house. I love how big it is, how deep it is. It also has some basins that you can move in and out of this to make it a double-sided sink if you want. It has a little colander like strainer attachment you can put in. It came with a cutting board that fits right over top of the sink. I've had this sink for quite a few years. We don't use the extra parts very often because I just really like my deep, great sink. But we do have those things. They're underneath here. I can use them whenever I want to. The only thing that could have made this sink better was this awesome faucet. So I love this. It's not sponsored or anything, guys. I don't do sponsored videos. Nobody wants to sponsor me. Occasionally I'll show you guys products that were sent to me for review, but I always let you guys know that. This we paid for with our own money. I just love it. I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So, loving that. Now I need to get these dishes dried and put away. I never put my pots and pans into the dishwasher. If you guys have seen my cleaning videos, you've probably noticed that. It just helps to make them last a little bit longer. I never put anything wooden in the dishwasher. Sometimes I put these like baking sheets in the dishwasher. I just didn't today because I was already hand washing a bunch of stuff. That's why this didn't get put in there. It was just the only thing in the sink, so I went ahead and washed it by hand really quick. I find washing dishes by hand very therapeutic. I actually really enjoy doing it. I just can't do it for very long because of the herniated disc that I have in my back. It hurts to stand over the sink for too long, especially on this hard kitchen floor, which I still need to mop and sweep. So, you know, I would probably do all of my dishes by hand and not even have a dishwasher if I didn't have that back injury. Maybe not. Let's be real. I'm kind of lazy. I like the idea of the dishwasher, but these are just the things I don't put in the dishwasher that I wash by hand. So now I've rambled for 4 minutes about my sink and my dishes. I'm gonna go and finish them up. So no matter what I do, my stove is always filthy. I try to be so careful with cooking and not dropping things, but I use the stove. My husband uses the stove. My kids do a lot of cooking, so it always looks like this, I swear. I'm cleaning it. I used to just clean my stovetop like once a week when I did a really thorough clean in my kitchen on Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday, by the way. But now I'm having to do it like 3 or 4 times a week. I love this heavy-duty degreaser, though, from Method. It works a treat on this sort of thing. It does leave my stovetop kind of streaky, though, so I always have to follow it up with like a glass cleaner or something like that, but I love that stuff. It smells great, and it works really well at getting all of the gross stuff off my stove. Makes it a little less tedious considering how much more often I'm having to do it. So yeah, I highly recommend that Method degreaser if you guys haven't tried this. I get all of my Method products on Grove Collaborative. You can get them in places like Target. I've seen Method products in Lowe's as well, and I think Meijer here locally. I don't know if Meijer, I don't think Meier's nationwide. I think it might just be like a northern thing. But you can totally get Method products in store, but I love Grove Collaborative because it's super easy. I can shop from my couch. You know, I'm all about that life. So I'll put my Grove link down below. If you guys have heard me talk about Grove before, I feel like this is like the 100th time I've mentioned them, and you're probably tired of hearing me talk about them, but it's just a great company. You can get some really good deals if you aren't already a member of Grove and you sign up and you make your first purchase using my link down below. You'll get free stuff. I think it's like a 5-piece Mrs. Meyer's cleaning set. I don't like the Mrs. Meyer's products as much as the Method products, but I do still use some of the Mrs. Meyer's products. I've kind of moved away from a lot of them, but I do like their all-purpose cleaner, and I like their like scent sprays and their candles and things. But definitely worth trying, especially for free, so definitely do that if you're interested. But the heavy-duty degreaser from Method is probably my favorite Method product. I also use the Method dish soap and the hand soap, and I get a ton of cleaning products like this from Grove. It's just really affordable and super easy just to click and ship and call it a day. So I'm really just rambling so that I don't have to clean my stove because I hate doing it, like I said. But alas, I have to get to work. So I just spent the last 20 minutes having Austin go in and try on pretty much every single pair of pants, shorts, bottoms that he has, and made him show them to me so that I could see what fits, what doesn't, what has stains, what's good for school, trying to take inventory on back to school. So I learned 2 things. First thing is that he does not have nearly as much as I thought. I had put a bunch of Robbie's old things into Austin's closet, just kind of assuming they would fit because they're the next sizes up. And apparently Austin is now in this awkward stage where the 10s that he was wearing are skin tight and too short, but the 12s, at least most of the ones that we had, are way too long and still kind of tight. And then the 14s, the next size up from that, he's like swimming in. So I think he's gonna need, like, I don't know what, maybe a slim, or maybe it's just the cut of these particular articles of clothing because they're all much baggier than what's in style right now and what he's used to. He's used to wearing kind of slim fit stuff. So yeah, he doesn't have as much as I thought he did, which means I'm gonna have to buy him more. And the second thing I learned is that if you want to torture your children, have them try on clothes, because it's right up there with waterboarding and making them go shopping. He was miserable the entire time. Making the world's easiest dinner tonight. I've got some smoked sausage that I am just browning up, and I'm going to serve it with some macaroni and cheese. Our favorite is the kind that has like the cheese pouch, you know, not the powder. These are the shells and cheese. My husband prefers elbow macaroni to the shells and cheese because sometimes the shells get stuck inside each other and they stay crunchy, and he's not about that life. But the shells and cheese are cheaper, so that's what I buy, and he just kind of deals with it. But yeah, that's dinner, super easy. Pretty much a no-brainer tonight. I have to pick Robbie back up from soccer in an hour. They're on a dead week for soccer this week, which means that they can't use the ball. So they're just training all week. It's like the hardest week. Because it's nothing but just like burpees and running and that sort of thing. So it's like the hardest week. They do it for an hour every evening. And then next week starts mandatory practices. So all of the practices up to this point have been voluntary. Robbie's only missed a couple. He could definitely use the help with the practice and the improvement. So he's been going to all of them, but next week starts mandatory practices. And then, yeah, their first game is on the 20th of August. So we are well underway with the soccer season. Very excited about the upcoming games. Hoping he gets a lot of playing time this year. So yeah, he's going to be wiped out by the time I pick him up at 7. So I'm trying to get this dinner done so that he can come home and eat and shower and probably just chill the rest of the night.